1. NASCAR legend Brad Keselowski slams road course dominance. 2. Does NASCAR have too many road courses? Chastain vs. Logano breakdown. 3. NASCAR road courses too many? Keselowski and Hamlin clash over schedule. 4. NASCAR street course debate. Chicago's chaotic racing good for the sport? 5. Brad Keselowski's take on NASCAR's road course overload. 1. NASCAR legend Brad Keselowski slams road course dominance. In a surprising turn of events, NASCAR Cup Series legend Brad Keselowski has taken aim at the league's recent decisions, sparking a debate among fans who attribute his criticism to jealousy. As Keselowski faces his third consecutive winless season in his last 4, his career nearing its peak, he remains vocal about the challenges he perceives within the sport. On Thursday, Keselowski, now 41, took to Twitter to express his frustration with the increasing number of road courses in the Cup Series calendar. This trend began with the introduction of the Charlotte Roval in 2018 and has escalated to 6 road courses in 2025, with Mexico City making its debut and the Chicago Street Race set to return for the third and potentially final time. We've gone from just 2 road course races to 6 and possibly 7 next year, Keselowski wrote in response to motorsport journalist Pete Pistone. NASCAR was built around oval tracks and IMSA excels at road racing. It's okay for each series to specialize. Some fans argue that Keselowski's criticism stems from his lack of success on road courses, 51 races without a win and an 18-race streak without a top 10 finish. However, Keselowski dismisses this notion, attributing his performance to other factors. It's not about my skills, he clarified. In fact, running road courses benefits my team RFK, as we've had 2 of the best teams this season with 6th and 60th positions on these tracks. Keselowski is not alone in his concerns about the prevalence of road courses in the Cup Series. This debate has intensified recently due to the arrival of a driver from outside NASCAR who consistently outperforms established stars on tracks with right-hand turns. But here's where it gets controversial. Should NASCAR continue to diversify its track types, or should it focus on what made it successful, oval racing? What do you think? Share your opinions in the comments below. 2. Does NASCAR have too many road courses? Chastain vs. Logano breakdown. Is NASCAR veering off track with too many road courses, or is it simply embracing a fresh, exciting future? This isn't just about track types, it's about the very soul of NASCAR, and a recent incident involving Chastain and Logano at Chicago has brought this simmering debate to a full boil. Let's dive into the heart of the matter with Eric Estepp, the undeniable king of NASCAR content on YouTube and host of Out of the Groove. Every day, Eric ignites the conversation among the Groovy Gang, his dedicated fanbase, breaking down the biggest news and trending topics in the NASCAR world. The controversial stance. Brad Keselowski vs. the road course invasion ***. Seasoned driver Brad Keselowski recently dropped a bombshell, asserting that NASCAR now features an excessive number of road courses on its calendar. But here's where it gets controversial. Is Brad merely clinging to the familiar comfort of tradition, or is he acutely pointing out a genuine imbalance that could fundamentally alter the sport's identity? As this debate intensifies, Eric, with his characteristic insight from Out of the Groove, meticulously unpacks the recent chaos that unfolded in Chicago between Ross Chastain and Joey Logano. He also sheds light on NASCAR's seemingly mixed signals regarding penalties, all while tackling the much larger, overarching question. Just how many road races are too many before NASCAR loses its unique oval DNA? Key questions that demand answers ***. Did Ross Chastain genuinely admit, perhaps in a moment of unfiltered honesty, that he intentionally wrecked Logano? And what are the implications of such an admission for driver conduct going forward? Why, in a sport historically known for its eye-for-an-eye retribution, did Joey Logano choose to run straight to NASCAR officials instead of engaging in traditional on-track retaliation? Does this signify a shift in the unwritten rules of engagement? And this is the part most people miss, is NASCAR inadvertently sending a contradictory message about driver self-policing? On one hand, they encourage fierce competition. On the other, they penalize actions that some might argue are simply part of the sport's aggressive nature. Where do we draw the line? Finally, is Brad Keselowski truly correct in his assertion that NASCAR should strictly adhere to its oval roots, leaving the specialized realm of road racing entirely to series like IMSA? Or is this a narrow view that ignores the potential for broader fan appeal and skill diversity? From the electrifying drama that unfolds immediately after a race to the overarching philosophy guiding the sport scheduling, this episode plunges deep into the growing tension between NASCAR's cherished, old-school oval DNA and its newer, increasingly diverse direction. With a robust 6 road races currently on the calendar, and the strong possibility of that number climbing to 7 next year, a critical question arises: has the pendulum swung too far away from NASCAR's traditional identity? Or conversely, are fans finally getting the exhilarating variety they have been clamoring for over the years, a fresh blend of high-speed ovals and challenging technical road courses? We want to hear your take. Do you agree with Brad Keselowski? Are road courses a refreshing change, or are they diluting the essence of NASCAR? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion fuels the conversation. Explore more from Eric Estepp *. Out of the Groove, available daily on YouTube at https://www.youtube.com/Eric stands proudly as the #1 NASCAR news and talk show. Eric consistently delivers the freshest stories from every corner of the NASCAR world, including the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Truck Series, and ARCA. His audience, affectionately known as the Groovy Gang, tunes in daily not only to remain perfectly up to speed with the sport but also to actively participate in the spirited, fun, and often thought-provoking online conversation that Eric expertly fosters. If you're a fan who craves the latest news and engaging discussions, Out of the Groove is unequivocally the best YouTube series to keep you in the know. 3. NASCAR road courses too many? Keselowski and Hamlin clash over schedule. Is NASCAR losing its roots? That's the hot question echoing through the racing community as debate flares up over the increasing number of road courses on the Cup Series calendar. And this isn't just a quiet grumble. Some of the sport's top drivers are voicing strong opinions, and their comments are igniting controversy. Let's rewind. For decades, NASCAR's identity was built on high-speed oval tracks, think iconic venues like Daytona or Bristol. Until recently, the Cup Series only featured 2 road courses, Sonoma Raceway and Watkins Glen. But in a dramatic shift, NASCAR has now added a host of new road and street circuits, such as the Indianapolis Road Course, Daytona Road Course, Road America, the Charlotte Roval, Circuit of the Americas, as well as bringing the action to Mexico City and the streets of Chicago. While a few of these tracks have since dropped off the schedule, the current number of road and street courses sits at 6, with discussions underway for a possible 7th in San Diego, a move that hasn't been finalized yet. But here's where it gets controversial. Not every driver is applauding these changes. In fact, some are pushing back, suggesting that NASCAR should actually scale back the road course count. Just this week, 2012 Cup Series champion Brad Keselowski and Daytona 500 winner Denny Hamlin both publicly called for fewer road and street events, emphasizing that their opinions have nothing to do with Shane Van Gisbergen's recent successes on these layouts. Keselowski, who drives for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, took to social media to share his stance. "We went from having just 2 road course races to now 6 and maybe 7 next year," he noted. NASCAR was built as an oval racing series. "I'm SA is North America's leader for road course events, and always will be, and that's okay. The truth is, there are just too many road courses in NASCAR." Meanwhile, Hamlin didn't mince words on his popular podcast, Actions Detrimental. He openly admitted, "I'm not a fan of road courses. I think we have too many on the schedule. 6 is a lot, especially for NASCAR, which is known for short track, oval, and hard-hitting racing." Yet, in a twist, Hamlin defended the inclusion of the Chicago Street Course, arguing that its excitement and significance make it worth keeping. For other new road courses, Hamlin said he could take it or leave them. And this is the part most people miss. Driving legends from previous eras are chiming in too. Just a few weeks ago, the legendary Richard Petty weighed in not just on the number of road courses, but on how their outcomes can shake up the championship. Using Shane Van Gisbergen's win in Mexico as an example, Petty questioned the fairness of a driver ranked 30th in points clinching a playoff spot with a single win. What about those guys in 15th, 16th, or 18th who've been consistent all season? Petty asked. Winning a road course shouldn't decide a championship. It's not really what NASCAR is all about. So, here's the million-dollar question. Has NASCAR gone too far in shifting toward road and street courses, or is this evolution simply keeping the sport fresh and dynamic? Are fans really eager for more twists and turns, or do they crave the bump-and-run action on classic ovals? Should a single road course victory really turn the playoff picture upside down? We want to know, where do you stand? Share your hottest takes in the comments below and don't hold back. This debate is far from over. 4. NASCAR Street Course Debate. Chicago's chaotic racing good for the sport? There's no denying that the inclusion of street courses in NASCAR has sparked a mix of excitement and controversy within the racing community. While some fans and drivers believe that urban circuits inject fresh energy and challenge drivers in new ways, others argue that these types of tracks may compromise the traditional essence of NASCAR racing. But here's where it gets controversial. Are street courses truly beneficial for the sport's future, or do they risk diluting its authenticity? Recently, the discussion heated up during coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity and Cup Series events held at the Chicago Street Course. News Channel 11 hosts John Janko and Terry Craig analyzed the races, highlighting the impressive performance of New Zealand driver Shane van Gisbergen, who dominated the weekend by securing pole positions and winning both his races. An extraordinary feat on a relatively new and untested circuit. Amidst the intense competition, a notable moment occurred between Bubba Wallace and Alex Bowman during the bracket challenge. The two drivers, who have a fierce rivalry, made contact on the track. This incident sparked debate among commentators about whether their clash was a sign of aggressive racing or simply reckless driving. John and Terry shared their perspectives, weighing in on whether such contact is part of fair competition or crosses the line into unsportsmanlike conduct. As the series prepares to head to the renowned Sonoma Raceway for upcoming events, NASCAR remains steadfast in its commitment to road courses, despite ongoing debate about their place in stock car racing. Critics argue that street courses may be more suitable for other forms of motorsport, like Formula One or IndyCar, and question whether NASCAR should continue embracing these urban circuits amid concerns over safety, race quality, and maintaining traditional NASCAR values. And this is the part most people miss. The future of NASCAR could hinge on how well its fanbase embraces or rejects these unconventional tracks. Do street courses truly enhance the excitement and bring new audiences to the sport, or do they pose a threat to its core identity? It's a topic that divides opinion. Some see innovation and fresh challenge, while others fear it dilutes the authenticity of NASCAR racing. What do you think? Should NASCAR keep pushing forward with street races? Or is it time to prioritize traditional tracks that have defined the sport for generations? Share your thoughts in the comments. This debate is far from over. 5. Brad Keselowski's take on NASCAR's road course overload. Imagine a sport that's constantly evolving, yet some voices believe certain changes threaten its very essence. Brad Keselowski, a well-known NASCAR driver and team owner, has recently voiced a strong opinion. There's simply too many road courses on the current racing schedule. But here's where it gets controversial. Are road courses really diluting the core of NASCAR, or are they an essential part of its future? Right now, the NASCAR Cup Series features 6 scheduled road course races this season, a number that's expected to stay similar in the upcoming year. That means roughly 1/6 of all points-paying events are held on road and street circuits. Not so long ago, before the introduction of the next-gen car, fans actually clamored for more of these races, advocating for increased variety in the racing calendar. Looking ahead to 2025, the schedule includes stops at iconic venues like Circuit of the Americas, COTA, Mexico City, the Chicago Street Course, Sonoma, Watkins Glen, and the Charlotte Roval. Did fans want so many? Brad Keselowski seems to think not. He publicly expressed his opinion on social media, stating, "We went from 2 to 6 road course races, possibly 7 next year. NASCAR was successfully built as a primarily oval racing series. IMSA, the main road course racing series in North America, does road racing better, and that's perfectly fine. There are simply too many road courses in NASCAR now." His concern isn't unfounded from a historical perspective. NASCAR grew its reputation primarily through oval racing, emphasizing high-speed, close-quarters battles that appealed to a broad audience. Meanwhile, IMSA has long established itself as the leader for true road racing in North America. And yes, although the number of road races has increased, ovals still dominate with approximately 30 of 36 races set on oval tracks. But is Keselowski's frustration shared by the broader racing community or fans? That's up for debate. While he candidly states his preference for traditional ovals, one can argue that the inclusion of street circuits and road courses actually boosts NASCAR's marketability by attracting new audiences and expanding its global appeal. Major events in cities like Mexico City and Chicago aren't just races. They're strategic efforts to grow NASCAR's footprint and connect with diverse markets. Moreover, the influence of road racing extends beyond just the calendar. It's shaping the skills of the next generation of drivers. Young racers are now learning to master road courses early in their careers. Series like Trans Am serve as proving grounds for future stars such as Connor Zilisch, Brent Cruz, and Tristan McKee. In an increasingly multidisciplinary racing landscape, versatility, knowing how to race on ovals, street circuits, and traditional road tracks, is becoming crucial for aspiring NASCAR drivers. While Keselowski's voice is an important one, the idea that NASCAR should scale back on road courses may overlook their strategic value. These races serve a dual purpose. They elevate the sport's excitement and bolster its international appeal. Interestingly, this season has seen the Cup Series sharing tracks with Formula One, which often results in some of the most exhilarating racing of the year, sometimes even more entertaining than F1's own events at COTA and Mexico City. In short, despite the criticism from Brad Keselowski, it seems unlikely that NASCAR will retract from its increasing focus on road and street circuits. Instead, the trend points towards even more inclusion of these types of tracks, reflecting a shift in the sport's audience, driver development, and global presence. So the question remains, do you believe more road courses weaken NASCAR's traditional identity, or are they the key to its growth and relevance in the modern racing world? Share your thoughts in the comments. This debate is far from over.